At 4ZZZ, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we broadcast. We pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging of the Turrbal and Jagera people. We acknowledge that their sovereignty over this land was never ceded.
And we stand in solidarity with them.
You're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ, amplifying the trans and gender non-conforming voices of Brisbane and beyond.
Hello, you're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm with...
Ray, I use they, them pronouns.
And we've got a jam-packed episode today. The theme is Justice Beyond the Binary. We'll be chatting to the LGBT Legal Service. We've got Bowen coming in the studio to chat all about, Justice Beyond the Binary. What does that mean? We'll find out later.
I am pumped.
I am pumped.
Pumped.
Oh.
No, I feel like...
That's a different thing entirely.
Yeah, so I think
Tuesday
that's,
morning.
I think that's like a 10 p.m. onwards vibe, probably.
That's queer radio. They're pumped.
Yeah.
We are just pumped on this Tuesday morning, and we've got so much news and events to go through. So let's do that. Ray, what's the first item on the news agenda?
The news gender, that's beautiful. The legal battle between Sal Grover, founder of the women-only social media app Giggle for Girls, and transgender woman Roxanne Tickle has entered its next phase as Grover's appeal against Tickle's gender discrimination victory began in the full federal court. Last year, the court ruled that Tickle had been indirectly discriminated against when she was removed from the app, which Grover intended as a safe space for women. Justice Robert Bromwich awarded Tickle $10,000 in damages, concluding that Giggle's policy unfairly excluded transgender women despite its intent to exclude men. Grover's appeal focuses on defending the app's women-only policy under Section 7D of the Sex Discrimination Act, claiming it is a necessary quote-unquote special measure to protect women from issues like abuse and trauma. However, the initial ruling rejected this defence, stating that sex should be understood beyond biological traits and include legal and social gender recognition, which made Tickle eligible for the app. The case has sparked significant attention from third parties like the Sex Discrimination Commissioner and LGBTQIA+ groups, with broader implications for the legal definitions of sex and gender identity in Australia anti-discrimination law.
Yes. We'll keep you updated with that one. Also, trans and gender diverse survey around alcohol and other drugs. So a national research project for trans and gender diverse people who are over 18, led by a team made up of trans and cis allies from the University of Sydney, University of New South Wales, La Trobe University, Network of Alcohol and Other Drug Agencies, as well as Rainbow Affinity. I'm just going to read a little blurb from the survey here. We are conducting a research survey about how trans people aged over 18 years talk about or seek support for their alcohol and other drug use, and how we can make these experiences better. This study will include questions about your use of alcohol or drugs. We aim to use this information to support trans people who would like to be more mindful about their use of alcohol and drugs, or maximise the positive experiences and reduce the negative experiences. So there are a few ways that you can participate in this survey. You can either join via an anonymous link, which I'll pop on the Tranzmission socials at trans with a Z.radio. That online anonymous survey will take about 30 minutes. Or you could do a one-on-one online where an interview will be conducted with a trans person who's part of the research project. Or you could do a 1-hour focus group online as well with 4 or 5 other people. You do go to... if you do the interviews or any of the focus groups, you'll get a $40 voucher. And if you do the anonymous one, you go into a draw to win some things too. So I'll pop that up there on the socials if you'd like to check that out. And contribute to our research. There's lots of always trans and gender diverse studies going around. I do feel a bit like sometimes we're being studied a lot, but if you're opting in, you can always help us out, and it benefits us. Also, we'll jump over to some week in community events and stuff. What's the first one?
We have so many events in the community coming up. Tonight, there is the Trans Justice Project Queensland Organising webinar. And if you join this webinar, you can hear stories of some of the people who've been impacted by the recent ban on gender-affirming care for trans youth, and connect with others who are ready to take action, get ideas and find support for ways you can get active in your community, and with the aim to reinstate trans youth healthcare. So that is the Trans Justice Project Queensland Organising webinar, and that's this evening from 6 p.m. AEST. So if you pop on to the Trans Justice Project website or their socials, you can grab a link there.
Yeah. There's also Morph's Community Pick. So on Saturday, 16th of August from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Echo and Bounce in Wollongabba, featuring markets, cheap clothes, a raffle and more, soundtracked by some of the, language warning, cuntiest artists of our community. Bring your old wardrobe and gender and swap it out for free. Something damaged or not your style? Our hot and helpful dykes, DIY Ikes, will be set up all day to help you F up your clothes. Feel free to pull up with a project and just hang out. Tickets available also from Humanitics. We're from the Community Pick, or you can head to Morph, the event, on Instagram.
And I love that event. They also are going to have like free haircuts, I think, and free like a bunch of other gender affirming stuff. So if you're if you've been, gender questioning and or you want to just hang out with some fellow queers and trans people, head on over. It's like would recommend. I'll probably be there.
Just come and linger. Go on.
Just come and linger. Just like, linger beside someone having their head shaved. Like, go off. We also have coming up on the 22nd of August, the 491 Fest 2. And that is the second instalment of 491 Fest, raising money for trans youth affected by, once again, the funding cuts from the Queensland LNP government. And that will include live music from the Flange Pannies, Permanent Revolution, and Anna and the Morphies. So head on to, there's a link for that on Humanitics, and you can also... I think just go. I think they have a website or they have a socials.
Yeah, ozpath.org.au/project 491.
Amazing. This is why I need better glasses.
We'll pop all these links up on the socials as well for all these events. And there's also one more event coming up. Ray, I feel like you should announce this one.
I am pretty pumped about this. We've got International Non-Binary Day celebrations happening on the 6th of September at Yuggera Community Hall. That's from 2 p.m. till 11 p.m. And it's for non-binary people of all ages. And you can also bring along your very well-behaved cis friends.
Put them on a leash if you need to.
Look, we've seen it all. But I'm so excited for International Non-Binary Day. It has been moved forward to September, so I'm excited for that to go ahead. And there'll be an incredible amount of markets and a performance space, crafternoon, workshops, queerioke, which is karaoke for queers, and there's also a chill out space and a blahage pit. Yeah. So if you're feeling some sensory overload, or you wish to just throw yourself into a pit of sharks that we do not sponsor, it's it'll be an amazing time. So there is a new website for that one, which is INBD Magandjin.com, and there's also, if you head to International Non-Binary Day, there's a bunch of socials and friends. So
yeah, great.
Yeah, grab
check
your
it
tickets.
all out. And the last item on the agenda, which I'm just gonna push a button for.
Radiothon is approaching fast. From the 8th till the 17th of August. Get us a birthday present by subscribing to the station and make sure the next 50 are just as fun as the last.
That's 50 years in your ears. There's heaps of prizes, warm in a glow, and the sweet satisfaction of supporting independent community media. Make sure to head to 4ZZZ.org.au to subscribe.
That's 4ZZZ.org.au.
Yoo-hoo! That's right. It's 50 years of 4ZZZ and Radiothon is just around the corner. And just as we do every year on Tranzmission, is if you want to subscribe and support Tranzmission specifically, Tranzmission have unique prizes coming up. I will be announcing more on the Tranzmission socials, trans.radio with a Z, over the coming week or so with all the prizes that we have on offer if you list Tranzmission as your favourite show for Radiothon when you subscribe. So that's during the time of 8th of August to the 17th of August this year. If you subscribe and list Tranzmission as your favourite show, you could win a $200 pizza party voucher from the Cave Inn, or a $50 voucher and t-shirt from Banshees Bar and Art Space. We've also got Bent Books with a $50 voucher. Gay Skate have donated a merch pack. And we've even got Dysphoric are donating 2 pairs of gender-affirming underwear as well. And there may be more to come. So I'm really, really excited about Radiothon this year. Yeah, how are you feeling, Ray? Are you puffed?
Once again, I'm puffed and pumped. Honestly, though, I feel like this is the most incredible amount of prizes, and I love that, like, when we were talking about it, I think you ended up, like, gathering these prizes within the matter of hours, at which point I had a nap and dinner.
Yes, there's
just
more.
phenomenal energy, and honestly, like, thank you so much for to everyone who has donated those beautiful prizes. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely, very, very keen. And we'll be announcing the winners of these prizes and such, and how to win, and all that sort of stuff next week on our Radiothon special. Amplifying the voices of the trans and gender non-conforming community of Magandjin, Brisbane, and beyond.
Tranzmission on 4ZZZ brings you the latest in trans community news, music, and events.
Every Tuesday from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m.
Join our team of hosts for an hour of celebrating the unique perspectives of the trans community.
Tranzmission, Tuesday mornings from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. on 4ZZZ. You're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez. I use he, him pronouns.
My name is Ray. I use they, them pronouns.
And my name's Bowen. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns.
Hey, Bowen, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
I hear that you're from the LGBT Legal Service.
Yeah, LGBTI Legal Service.
Oh, damn!
Yeah.
We're expanding.
Yeah.
So, I hear that there is some justice happening beyond the binary. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what that is and what's happening with the service?
Yeah, so my job at the service is to create resources for people to learn about their legal rights to sort of stop legal issues before they happen. So Justice Beyond the Binary is a website that's all on its own. It's got lots of resources for you to read up and learn about your legal rights and help you navigate some legal problems you might be having in your life without having to speak to a lawyer.
Wow. Ray and I were actually looking at the website just before and how beautiful some of the designs are and how lovely this is laid out. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how this all came together?
Yeah, so I was noticing that a lot of resources didn't really have anything about non-binary people in them. So even the really best trans resources would have, we don't really know how this will affect non-binary people. And I was like sick of that. So I decided, to make this website and really focus it on non-binary issues. And it was really important to me that it was done with a lot of consultation with community. So we did a survey to get people to say what legal questions they have that we can answer for them. And we did a really big consultation where we got a whole bunch of people in to read and evaluate the resources. So
Yay, it's like peer-reviewed and community-led. Mm-hmm. I love that. That's the best way to do things. I was going to say anti-capitalist, but that's not the word I'm thinking of. But this is fantastic. So, also, you have some beautiful artwork here. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who designed some of the art for this website?
Yeah, so we made sure all of the people working on the website were non-binary. We had an amazing artist called Zoe Lamb, who we found on Instagram, who did all of the beautiful drawings.
They're so cute and just beautiful, like the color palette being like the non-binary flag colors as well, and like showing a diversity of different trans and gender diverse people. And yeah, you should check it out. So Justice Beyond the Binary, all one word, .org.au, and you can take a look at all these resources. What kinds of things are you particularly proud of, Bowen, with this project?
Well, I'm really proud of how beautiful it looks, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the resources are really the most important thing because that's what people are going to get out of the website. So I really want it to be front and center. We have Discrimination 101, which I think is going to be really useful for people, because in our survey, we asked people if they'd experienced discrimination, and about a third of people said yes, and then a third of people said no, and then the other third said they weren't sure. So a lot of people, they know if something's wrong and unfair, but they don't know if it's illegal and if there's something they can do about it. So reading through Discrimination 101, you can really think about your situation, see if it does meet the legal definition of discrimination, and then see what you can do about it.
Wow, and it's answering questions like, what is discrimination, what is an attribute, what is vilification, what is bullying, and talking about direct and indirect discrimination as well, which is awesome. You also have like identity documents. What's that about?
Yeah, that's if you want to go down the route of changing your birth certificate, changing your name. It's a lot of paperwork. I know when I changed my name, I made a very small mistake on my paperwork and I had to do the whole thing again, because it can be quite hard. So identity documents is all about if you want to change your birth certificate and your name, how to do it, and all of the places that you have to go and tell people that you've changed your name, because it doesn't do it all at once. So you have to go to Centrelink, you have to go to the ATO, you have to go to the electoral roll, and they'll have different ways of doing it. So it's all that information in there.
Yeah, how to navigate the bureaucratic system as a non-binary person. And we've also got things on like travel as well, which I suspect is about kind of like, do you want to tell us a little bit about how this travel page works? Yeah.
One of the biggest questions that people are always asking is about the X passport and what that means, and if you should do it or not. And so if you want to make the decision about which gender marker you want on your passport, this is going through all of the things that you'll need to think about.
Yeah, great. I know that it can be quite complicated, and there's a lot of probably fear around whether there's safety when it comes to travelling with an X on your passport, so that's really awesome. And then the final section here you've got is domestic and family violence. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a big issue for our community. So it's going through helping spot domestic and family violence. Particularly, there's a lot of violence that can be used against trans and non-binary people that's specific to us. And a lot of people had questions about, is my partner constantly misgendering me and dead naming me? Does that really count? And if it is in a pattern of control like that, it does count. And so those are the big questions that people are having, and we're trying to answer there.
Yeah, it's always important that we make sure that people are respecting the things that you, like particularly with pronouns in your name. It is discrimination to not be respected on those things in various situations and circumstances. So, yeah, good to know. This is awesome, Bowen. I'm really excited to see how the community use this resource. And, yeah, where can we find it? Where do we go?
Yeah, so justicebeyondthebinary.org.au. There's also a link to it on our Instagram, and there's also a link to it on the LGBTI Legal Service page.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. But Bowen also is in a very popular up-and-coming local band, Language and Content Warning. What's the name of your band?
We're called the Soft Cunts.
Yes! I love that name so much.
You know your band is incredibly sick when you need a language warning for the band's name.
Yeah, that's how you know.
It's brilliant.
It's how you measure cool, right? Or something.
It's deeply inconvenient.
Actually, it sucks. I wish we didn't do that.
No, but it's still really cool.
Yeah. Tell us. So you were saying that you had a sold-out gig recently.
Yeah, so we played our first full hour-length gig down in Banshees. It was amazing. We sold out the venue. We're supported by our really great friends, the Salty Sirens.
Oh, heck yes! And so when did the band form? How did it happen?
Yeah, so my friend Quinn and I always play at Non-Binary Day, and I organised something called the Magandjin Dyke Bar Project, and I wrote a song about the project that I wanted to perform, and so I got my friend Quinn and my friend Casey to come play at that event to play that song with me, and it was maybe the most fun I've ever had in my life, so we decided to keep going.
We're like, that's it, this is it forever now. And what inspired the name?
Yeah, so we were talking about the best of both worlds, Miley Cyrus being the trans experience if you really want to have a positive look at it. And so we wanted to cover that.
Yeah.
And but instead of being a bit twee and in our feelings, we decided to do a parody called The Best of Both Wholes.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent.
and we were like, yes, let's celebrate this part of ourselves that maybe we might feel a bit weird about.
Yeah.
And so it's about maybe having a cunt, but it's also about being soft and vulnerable, but in a really tough world.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. It's like, it's got a full on. It's full on to say, but then you're like, oh, it's actually quite deep and profound. That's kind of like a trans experience in a nutshell, really. Yeah. So, are you going to be recording any music, or what's the future of Soft Cunts look like?
At the moment, we write original songs, and we're doing our first few gigs, so building up our audience. We don't have an Instagram yet. We haven't figured out the censorship. That's in the works. So we're going to be playing 6th of September at Non-Binary Day, and then we have another gig lined up in October.
Fantastic. And how can we follow the band?
I guess you just have to show up to Non-Binary Day.
Okay. All right,
yeah,
great.
amazing. I was like, what if on Instagram you censored the U with a V?
Yeah, we've been looking at options.
Looking at options, yeah. It's, as you said, it's the best name ever. I'm never going to forget it, but it's also incredibly inconvenient.
So, head on down to Non-Binary Day to check out Soft Cunts, and then also just enjoy Non-Binary Day as well, which I will remind our dear listeners that is on the 6th of September from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Jagera Hall, which is in West End. So be there or be cis. Yeah. Anyway.
That just sent me. I had no notes.
Thank you so much for coming in. You're awesome.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing more of your work, both with Justice Beyond the Binary as well as within the music scene. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ. Ray, we're coming to the end.
It's very sad. I'm
so sad.
So sad. I'm very excited to have our Radiothon show next week.
Yes,
will be
Radiothon. 50 years.
So there will be more Tranzmission in your future, and if you want to relive Tranzmission, you can listen to the podcast of this episode.
Absolutely. You can head over to the Tranzmission social media. You can also listen back on the 4ZZZ website as well. We've got our AMRAP there. You can even check out all the songs that we play each episode. But yeah, there's multiple ways of doing it, listening back. But otherwise, we're going to see you all next week for our Radiothon episode, 50 Years in Your Ears. And I'm so excited to also give away some prizes if you list Tranzmission as your favourite show. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Tranzmission. See you next Tuesday, 9 to 10 a.m. on 4ZZZ.